Okay, bro. So, like, chances are, if you're a young guy watching this, you want to get ahead of like most people in your age group, right? But how do you actually do this? You do it by it's simple, right? You do it by literally looking at what the day-to-day life of like a typical like 16 to 25-year-old is, and doing exactly the opposite of that, right? Let's say you're a typical 18-year-old living in the Western world, right? What do other 18-year-olds' lives look like on a day-to-day basis, right? They probably have a 9 to 5 job. They probably work at fucking Pizza Hut or something like that, and they come home and they literally have all these bad habits that they use as crutches to escape from their reality, which is pretty much like junk food, playing video games, uh, doing drugs, or just watching porn or whatever. So that's what they use as like a crutch to escape from the reality that they're in. And that all stems from the 9 to 5 job, right? And that's a 99%, bro. And that's how like most young guys live their lives, right? They live their lives in like this constant cycle of like dopamine and like just not being satisfied with their life in like a bad way, right? Not in a good way where like you're making changes and things like this to your lifestyle or whatever, but actually like being dissatisfied with your life in a bad way, right? Where you're doing drugs or like eating junk food or using them as like crutches so that you can escape from their reality, right? So pretty much the bar is set pretty low, bro, and you're gonna obliterate every like 18-year-old living in the Western world by the task that I'm giving you right now, right? If you do them right, you're gonna obliterate like everyone. Like that's a 99% of the population, right? Let's break it down, right? What is the exact opposite of a 9 to 5 job? And it's pretty much entrepreneurship, right? And specifically starting an online business, which will give you time and location freedom, right? Those two are like I'd say like the most important things when it comes to like business, right? And like living your life in general. Because if you don't have those two types of freedoms, then you're like pretty much slaving away, right? Think about it. Like people go to like college and like uni to literally put their own money in, to literally, obviously the government's money, but you gotta pay it back, right? So like that's your money that you gotta pay back. And you're literally like building someone else's dream. You're literally when you go to work, you're building someone else's dream. When you go to a 9 to 5, you're building someone else's dream, right? So, and that's how you get ahead of like most people. Like a lot of people just follow the herd, and they don't literally think for themselves and go, "What the fuck? This is literally a scam, right?" Like I'm paying money to build someone else's dream, and like I'm slaving away for this job that doesn't give me fulfillment, doesn't give me anything. I'm not telling you to literally quit your job the next day and pretty much go all in on entrepreneurship, bro. Like, like just quit, like, straight away. That's not like the move, right? Because obviously you won't have like money coming in and things of this nature. So you can't really do that, right? So what you need to do is pretty much go part time with work. If you're a young guy, you probably have no other obligations. If you're an 18-year-old, you probably still live with your parents and stuff like that, and you don't really have any obligations in terms of like family and things like this. You don't have kids or anything like that, so you can literally go part time with your work and literally learn about online business in the other half of your day. So that's pretty much what I recommend, and it works for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that were successful, that followed this pathway and pretty much like gained success over time when they uploaded to YouTube, or like that's a business model I'm doing. Like uploading to YouTube. But you can choose any business model under the sun. There's multiple. There's a lot of YouTube gurus that are going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it here. But to name a few, there's dropshipping, there's SMMA, there's growth operating. Growth operating is actually a new one. But I'm doing self improvement videos. You can do the same thing that I do. But like it's a gradual change. It's not like, you quit one day and like you go all in on entrepreneurship, even though it's cool to do that, right? It'll be cool to do that, but like you wouldn't have any money coming in, right? And some of you may be thinking like, oh bro, like, but no one, obviously, like, everyone can't be entrepreneurs. Like there has to be some 9 to 5 workers, right? They can't be entrepreneurs like all over the world, right? Like that, right? And that's true. The world would fall apart if there were no 9 to 5 workers, because like that's pretty much what the world runs on right now. Because like, like from like back in the day, like people started creating like workers in factories and stuff like that, and that's like transcends over time, and like, that's what's evolved to like the 9 to 5 work, right? And if that goes away, like the world will fall apart. But that doesn't need to be you, right? That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't need to be you. It can be someone else. So like you watching this video, like it doesn't need to be you. So you can literally go out there and change your life and change your family's life. Living in the Western world, bro, you have like so much opportunity that you don't even realize. You have access to the internet. You have like, all this stuff at your fingertips, but you still don't like take use of it. You know what I mean? So, and you're still stuck at the 9 to 5 job. So, yeah, and also like anyone can become an entrepreneur, right? Like if you think about it, if you have a passion and if you turn it into a business, then boom, you're an entrepreneur, right? A lot of young people have like negative connotations associated with fucking entrepreneurship, and maybe that's just the way we were brought up, right? But the thing is, there's an infinite amount of cash being printed like every single day by the Fed, and you're telling me that you can't get a small piece of that. You can't get 10K in your bank account within like 30 days, right? That's what you're telling me. And there's infinite amounts of cash being printed every single day. But come on now. Here's the thing, right? Entrepreneurship and fitness pretty much like solves all your problems. You wouldn't even have time for like anything else, like your bad habits or like the crutches that you like fall upon when you don't like your life or whatever. Because this gives you fulfillment and purpose, right? The most two important things that a man should need from his work, and which is purpose and fulfillment. So entrepreneurship and fitness literally provides all of that, and you need to go all in on it, right? And why do I say fitness as well? It's because like the man that you become when you develop like a physique, which is like god tier, or like like a decent physique, um is like uncomparable to anything else, right? So what you need to do is get in the gym first. Go like, you could work both entrepreneurship and fitness hand in hand, right? So you need to get in the gym though, and like literally, apply yourself and literally take care of your diet, take care of your obviously your routines and things like this, and you pretty much be unstoppable because you cultivate that discipline to literally go ahead and apply the same discipline to entrepreneurship as well, right? Once you start doing something like entrepreneurship and fitness, right, you wouldn't even have time for these crutches, right? As I said before, because you'd be living in a different reality to what you were in before. This reality you actually like what you're living in, so you wouldn't fall back on those crutches or like go back to those bad habits unless you're like super addicted to them. Which, I mean, you're kind of cooked right there, but like you need to like get out of that, and I'll do a separate video on like how to like get out of those crutches in a separate video. But that's how you get ahead of pretty much like 99% of people who are like your age, because people your age aren't doing shit. You need to realize that, and like pretty much there are a few killers, but like the real killers don't have all the shit going on in their life, right? They minimize all the things that they need to do to a bare minimum. That are needle movers, right? If they're not needle movers, they're not gonna do it. So yeah, that's my spiel at the end of the day, and like take what you want from it, and I'll see you in my next one.